14 Bannerman Road is where Sarah Jane Smith lives. And it's home to things way beyond your imagination. There's an extraterrestrial supercomputer in the wall, a genetically engineered boy genius in the attic, a schoolgirl investigator across the road, and a whole universe of adventure right here on the doorstep. Ready? Always.
No one really knows just when Ashen Hill Manor was first built, but through history there has always been a house here. And so they say, just as long as there's been stone and oak, there has always been evil. They say it was a reputation of the house that attracted the magician Erasmus Darkling. He entered the service of the young Lord of the Manor, the widower, Lord Marchwood. Darkling promised that in return for his protection, he would replenish the family's fortunes with the secret of making gold from base metal. But after 2 years working in a secret chamber far beneath the house, Darkling's alchemy had failed to bear 1 ounce of gold. And the people on Marchwood's land were uneasy. There were stories of how Darkling came among them at night, of how he took away people that never returned, and that he was not human.
Elizabeth. Joseph. Elizabeth. Joseph. My children, where are you?
No matter how long, no matter how hard their father searched for them, they were never, ever seen again.
My children! My children!
And they say he searches still.
It's a good story, Professor, but I don't believe in ghosts.
Of course you don't, and neither do I. But Ashen Hill Manor is reputedly one of the most haunted locations in the UK.
So let me get this right. If you don't believe in ghosts, Sarah Jane, and you don't believe in ghosts, Professor, then what are we doing here?
To see if we're right. To find out scientifically one way or the other.
In that case, I'm delighted you invited me along to cover the story.
We're set up through here.
Are you sure about this? I mean, there's no such thing as ghosts, is there?
God, I don't believe you. After all the things we've seen, you're scared of ghosts.
Who said anything about scared? Did I mention scared? I don't think so.
Don't worry, I'm sure. Whatever people may think they've seen at Ashen Hill Manor, it's more to do with imagination than supernatural.
Introductions. Sarah Jane Smith, journalist. My assistant from the Pharos Institute, Toby Silverman.
Hello, Toby. This is Ronnie and Clyde. Sort of Sarah Jane's apprentice.
And I'm carrying the sandwiches.
So are you the technical genius?
Well, I don't know about that. I'm just interested in the quantifiable effects of metanormal energies on the established phenomena.
Pushes a put, Luke.
Only he said that people who believed in ghosts were still living in the Dark Ages. Or something like that.
Luke is my son.
Toby is the son of Professor Sir Rupert Silverman.
The physicist. Well, what does your father think of his son dabbling in the paranormal?
I ought to get on with putting my monitoring equipment together.
Yes, of course.
This house has a long history of psychic activity. Then there are the disappearances.
Disappearances? Nobody said anything about any disappearances.
No, they didn't. There's something else, isn't there?
The Scribbins family, who legally still own the house, a mother, a father, and 2 children, vanished one night 20 years ago. Their keys were found still in the doors, locked from the inside. Toby, what What on earth are you doing?
My screwdriver, I just put it down there and it's gone, it's vanished.
What's that?
EMF meter. Paranormal activity causes a fluctuation in the electromagnetic field.
Save your batteries, Professor. The only ghost at work here is the spirit of Sir Isaac Newton. Gravity fell and rolled away. Come, let's have a look around.
At least we know Lord Marchwood was real.
I've no doubt he was. And his children probably disappeared too. Perhaps Lord Marchwood did spend the rest of his life looking for his children. But the afterlife, I doubt it. Oh, it's so sad his house has fallen into disrepair. It must have been quite wonderful.
Now Professor Rivers couldn't have picked a creepier place for a ghost hunt. It's felt like someone's been watching me since we got here.
It's psychological. You know this house is supposed to be haunted, and your imagination starts to work overtime.
No wonder Luke wanted to stay at home. I could get bored of jumping at my own shadow pretty fast.
What about the disappearances? An entire family vanishes into thin air. Whether or not you believe in ghosts, that's just sinister.
But I've seen so many strange things in my life, wonderful and frightening. Yet all of it had a scientific explanation of some kind. The trouble with ghosts is there simply isn't any scientific basis for them to exist.
What's that? Dinner time?
I didn't see any bell tower.
That's because there isn't one.
Miss Smith?
What did you hear at the bell? Church bell.
What bell? Bell tower? There's nothing.
And why did we hear something like Quasimodo on a joyride and Professor Rivers and Toby heard nothing? Doesn't make sense.
Oh, I'm telling you, I don't care whether Sarah Jane believes in ghosts or not. There's something seriously freaky about that place. Let's check up here.
History of Ashen Hill Manor. Perfect.
Look at this place. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I bet Castle Dracula looks okay on a sunny day too.
Look. Doesn't look like it's been used in years.
Well, that would be because everyone just disappears.
Are you scared?
Clyde Langer, scared. I've taken on just about every creep in the universe, right? I ain't afraid of a ghost.
Good. Come on then.
I suppose that cucumber fart's in here.
It's just old and damp. Must have been wonderful here years ago. Picnic by the fountain, taking the boat out on the lake.
If you like to paddle. Can you turn that on?
Who's there?
Is there someone out here messing with us? Because we're not falling for it, okay?
I'm not hearing this.
If you don't believe that, wait till you see this.
Wet footprints. Hello?
What are you doing?
It's a ghost, it can't hurt us. It's already dead. Besides, listen to her. Hello?
feeling freaked yet. What's wrong?
I think what you experienced was a stone tape manifestation.
Some of us are a bit new to this kind of thing. You might need to explain.
It's the theory that events can be recorded on physical matter, normally stone, and then, under certain circumstances, they get played back. That's the most convincing explanation for most so-called hauntings.
The house is built on the giant slab of granite bedrock, which research suggests is a great conductor of these psychic recordings.
There are stories about the Grey Lady that walks the castle rampart, or sometimes a legion of Roman centurions marching along a road. Only people only ever see them from the knee up.
Because Roman roads were lower.
Exactly.
I heard about this castle where some lord was murdered by his jealous brother. He lopped off his head, and every Halloween it rolls down the castle steps.
The man in the mirror, he didn't look like any sort of recording.
If it was a disembodied spirit, let's hope he shows up again tonight. It's after 8 and it's gone dark. It's time to begin the experiment.
If I could have everybody's mobile phones, please.
Our phones? What for?
The mobiles can interfere with our equipment. We can keep in touch throughout the house with walkie-talkies.
Well, I'd like to speak to Luke first, and Clyde and Rani should call their parents.
Of course, we'll be in the control hub, running final checks. Toby?
Hi, Mum. Everything's cool. Just bedding down for the night in the old haunted house. I haven't seen any ghosts yet, but I reckon they're in a skeleton stuff. And yes, we've had dinner. We had goulash.
The EMF network?
All meters through the house operating and online.
Thermostats?
Operating and online.
Video cameras? Toby?
Sorry, for a moment, I thought I saw...
You saw what?
Oh, nothing. All cans are fine.
Good.
Oh no, hang on, nursery cam's on the blink.
I'll go and check it.
Apparently Luke's been driving Dad around the bend all afternoon.
What? Luke's your dad's star pupil? He's probably just secretly planning your wedding.
Yeah. Not anymore. Dad taught him to play chess today, and Luke beat him 6 times before he went home.
Oh, I bet he had your father in pieces. I closed that book, I know it.
Is there a drive to me? Someone tell me the window's open. Please.
It isn't.
Must be a draft coming down the chimney.
It's him! That's the man from the pavilion.
That's Erasmus Darkling, the magician.
I bet he made a mean balloon jar off the kids' parties.
That's better, Professor. Oh, camera doesn't do you any favours.
I heard that.
Where's the Professor? Something seriously freaky just happened.
Which I'm sure has a rational explanation.
She's in the nursery. Won't be long.
Happy with the positioning, Toby?
Right on target. Miss Smith wants to talk to you.
I'll be down in a minute.
I refuse to believe that book was opened by any ghost. It was certainly not the ghost of a supposedly evil magician from the 17th century.
Well, something opened it, Sarah Jane.
And there wasn't any breeze. We would have felt it.
And that was definitely the man in the pavilion.
Oh, wow, look at that.
What is that?
EMF readings throughout the house are spiking.
Something's happening.
What happened? Where did she go?
She's vanished.
Come on, better check the landing.
Professor Rivers seems strike me as the kind that plays hide and seek.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody there?
Professor, Where are you? You had us all worried for a second.
Hello? Where am I? Is anybody there? Can anybody help me?
Celeste?
Wherever Professor Rivers has gone, she can't hear you.
Yeah, but where is she?
I don't know. These readings, they're like nothing I've ever seen before.
What is that?
It's like your EMF meter, only more useful. Who set that off?
Poltergeist activity. This room's famous for it.
Or perhaps just a freak mechanical fault.
I just got hit by a rookie horse.
No, you must have knocked it.
I didn't. I know I didn't.
The electromagnetic signature is increasing by 5 milligal. 8, 10. This is astonishing.
No, this is freaky. Stephen's going crazy. We have to get out of here.
Are you kidding? This is amazing.
Calm down!
It's locked. It can't be.
The engineer is building. I don't want to be in here when it is.
Still said there's no such thing as the paranormal then. Only wish the professor were here to see it. And my father.
Your watch! Did it pick up something alien? The readings were confused.
Alien?
That's more like it. Aliens I can handle.
We have to track down the source of whatever is happening here. We have to stop it and get Professor Rivers back.
And how do we do that?
We do what we always do. We look for clues. Oh, my readings are different now. Still energy signatures that I don't recognize. Neither human or alien, but less intense, almost dormant.
The EMF readings have gone back to normal as well. Those readings in the nursery were completely unnatural.
Unnatural, but not supernatural. There's an energy source somewhere in this house. If we can locate that, we'll be on our way to finding the professor.
So we split up, yeah?
Oh, I don't think so, Riley. Professor Rivers managed somehow to disappear in the blink of an eye. The same thing may have been happening here for centuries.
Yeah, but it's a big house and we don't know how much time we might have.
All right. But don't take any unnecessary risks.
Hey, there's nothing to worry about. We all know Luke is the loose cannon in the gang.
Check the levels through the house.
Yes, have a look around, but be careful.
Okay, the study. Always a good place for clues.
This place doesn't look like it's been touched since the last people disappeared.
Yeah, just be careful. Around here, I wouldn't be surprised if there really was a skeleton in the cupboard.
Jumping in shadows now.
Please, you must leave here.
You're Lord Marchwood's children. But you can't be.
We want our father.
Your father?
He keeps us from him.
Who does?
You must leave the house before he comes for you. All of you.
Who will come? Was it you that opened the book? Were you trying to warn us about Erasmus Darkening?
He will take you all. You will never leave.
Hugo, I want to help you.
Clive, look at this. Someone was researching the house and the people that disappeared.
Well, it didn't do them much good, did it? Because they all disappeared.
Look, this goes all the way back to 1665. Lord Marchwood and his children.
Oh, look at my friend, Erasmus Darkman.
I'm unable to find any historical records of Erasmus Darkling, but Marchwood's household accounts prove he existed. Stories that Darkling was responsible for disappearances from local villages are impossible to substantiate. Perhaps the answer lies in the secret passage.
You did just say secret passage.
Mm-hmm.
As in, whoever wrote that went looking down it and maybe never came back.
You should show this to Sarah Jane.
Oh, no.
What is it?
It's a list of the secret passages. Well, guess what? There's one in Toby's controller.
Hello? Is there anybody out here? Wherever you are, I'm not here to hurt you. I promise.
Get yourself, my lady. Get into the netherworld.
Hello? When me and Luke were being held prisoner by those nutty Gorgon nuns, he got us out by opening a secret passageway. It's just a question of finding a panel or something to press and... Ah! Hey, presto! I think we've hit a brick wall.
And that's magic. It's pretty dark down there.
Yeah. Never leave home without one. Especially if you're going somewhere with Sarah Jane Smith. Are you coming?
Well, someone's got to hold your hand, haven't they? Go on. You've brought a bigger torch.
What, and spoil the look of my jacket? I'm not just an action hero, you know. I am a style icon.
Yeah. The very Spider-Man. Come on. It's all right, Toby. It's only me.
You all right, Miss Smith?
I'm not sure.
Well, they do exist, Miss Smith. We could be on the verge of something so enormous here.
Is that why you're so jumpy?
Oh, I'm not jumpy. I'm excited. This could be the scientific discovery of all time. The ultimate question answered. Is there life after death?
And that would mean you could prove yourself to your father. I'm presuming he doesn't approve of your area of research.
Science has a very short-sighted view of the paranormal.
For a good reason.
There is nothing scientific about ignoring phenomena just because it doesn't fit in with your view of the universe, Miss Smith.
Believe me, Toby, my view of the universe is very detailed, and I understand humanity's need to believe in some sort of afterlife, but whatever is happening here, ghosts do not exist.
Well, I have those EMF readings for you.
Happening? Where? He's gone.
You sure you don't believe in ghosts?
Look at this place.
I take it all back. Everything else, that was not creepy. This place, this is creepy. This is Creepsville, Transylvania. Look at this stuff. Oh, this is Hogwarts, Tim Burton stuff. It's Harry Potter has a close shave off Sweeney Todd.
Died. Do you know where we are?
Well, it isn't Santa's workshop.
According to the legend, Erasmus Darkling spent 2 years working in a secret chamber beneath Ashen Hill Manor. This is it. It's all for real.
At least he hasn't been around in a while.
Maybe this is the reason for whatever's going on here. If this part of the legend is true.
Then maybe he really did make those 2 kids disappear.
And Professor Rivers.
Ronnie, this guy lived hundreds of years ago.
And I know what I saw in the pavilion. It was him. Darkling.
Well, I have to admit it. I've seen some weird stuff. There's weird, and then there's... this place. What was I saying again?
It's like electronics, but from hundreds of years ago. And it's still working. Who's there?
Welcome to my dominion, my halls of granite. You cross my threshold of your own free will, and now by my will, you shall stay. For all eternity. Release us from this purgatory.
Whatever's going on in this house, it is far more dangerous than a haunted.
The poltergeist activity.
I think it's following us!
It doesn't matter what you shut out, you never know what you're locking yourself in with.